This is PrepZone Game Time presented by Bevill State Community College. I'm James Phillips. I'm joined by Johnathan Bentley as always. Johnathan, we've got a great game of the week this week where Oakman will be hosting JB Pennington. I think it's going to be an outstanding game. After Oakman coming off a terrible loss, they are working hard to bounce back this week.
Yeah, I bet they had some tough practices.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it was just from word go last week, it was bad. Winfield is really good, I think.
Yeah, I think so,
I think they're really, I mean, to do that to Oakland, you got to be pretty talented.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah, they've got to want to be back on the field. Right. Probably the next day they were ready to play.
Oh, I'm surprised that Coach Hall didn't have them practicing that night after the game.
I mean, Pennington's good, though. Pennington, Oakland beat them last year.
Right.
Just need to beat them again, and then that'll pretty much leave them in a really good spot.
It will, yeah. Now, I think Susan Moore is another team they're going to have to face. It's going to be similar to JB Pennington, probably not as good. Everybody says Pennington has a quarterback that's really good. He's a senior, dual threat kind of quarterback. I think if Oakman can take him out, Oakman wins this game. Yeah. But you know, you got to keep him kind of fenced in.
Well, that was not the problem. That guy was throwing and handing off, so this will be different.
Right, you know? I think so.
They have the athletes to do it.
They definitely do. Yeah, just got to step up and do it, and that's what most everybody we've talked to at Oakman this week has talked about. It's bouncing back, working hard, and just getting it done. The first person that talked to us about that was head coach Ryan Hall. All right, I'm joined by Coach Ryan Hall. Coach Hall had a rough game last week against Winfield, but you were telling me before we started talking that Winfield is one of the best teams in the state for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's the best team I've had since we've been here, and you know, they always play really hard. But now they've got some speed and some athleticism to go with that. We didn't play well either, though, but a lot of that had to do with them. But I was very impressed with them, and you know, feel like they'll have a chance to make a good run.
Well, and you guys have played as tough a schedule as anybody in your classification so far.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want. You know, we want to play good teams, and we certainly know a lot more about ourselves right now than we would if we didn't play good teams. So we've been challenged, and you know, we failed on some of those challenges, and hopefully, you know, in the long run, that'll be a positive for us. And that's kind of the lesson in it that we try to impart to the players is sometimes you don't get what you want in the moment, but the fruit that you get from that down the road, you know, you see it later. And so we hope that's what happens, and hope that we learned a lot of lessons in that game about effort and discipline and competing, and you know, we'll get another opportunity this Friday to put that back out there and see if we did.
Right, well, and you got JB Pennington this Friday, so I guess you're telling the players it doesn't get any easier. They're undefeated coming in.
No, you know, I think they're the third undefeated team we played in a row. You know, Holly Palm was undefeated. Well, I guess Gordo could be considered undefeated.
Right.
You know, but you know, you can't. The records are the records. But certainly, JB Pennington's a good football team. The coaches there, Coach Cassidy and his staff, they do a great job of executing scheme. They're very sound in what they do. Quarterback is a senior that played a lot of football, gunslinger kind of guy. So he can exploit you a little bit if you don't stay disciplined. And then defense, you know, they pride themselves on, you know, toughness and physicality. So we'll have to stand up to that. And you know, but we're excited. It's another region game that we get to play at home, and an opportunity for us to go out and take another step toward what we want, you know, in terms of playoff football. And that's kind of every region game is a playoff game to us. That's kind of how we talk about it and approach it. Right. They all have playoff implications, and so we take that approach each week. And just this is another opportunity for that.
Well, and that's what I was going to mention. This is early in the year. There's a lot of football still to play, but this is a really important game as far as the region goes.
Yeah, and there's no doubt. And you know, everybody says all of them are important. We know that, but games like this one are you know, the last year this game swung the stand. You know, we all finished in a three-way tie, and right. Us and Vinemont and them. And so, yeah, these games, if you kind of try to see into the future a little bit, you would expect Pennington to be a playoff football team. And so, obviously, this will have implications on that. But you know, you just got to keep the main thing, and that's that game Friday night is the only one we can deal with. And really, reality is the only thing we deal with is today at practice.
Right.
We can't deal with that till Friday, but just try to keep that the main thing, and not let our mind start wandering to those things. But definitely, I would expect JB Pennington to be a playoff team. So yes, it would definitely have those implications.
Now, what do you expect as far as a home crowd? I mean, you're playing at home, and you got to expect the community is going to come out and support this game.
Yeah, they do. You know, they always do. And our band's awesome, and you know, cheerleaders do a good job, and the school does a good job job supporting it. And so, we always have a good crowd here and supportive crowd. And I would expect that to be the same. They come out rain, shine, it doesn't matter. They love football. They love high school football. So it's a great environment here, and our kids know that, and they kind of thrive on that. So we'll be excited to play at home again after being on the road for the first 3 weeks.
Right. Well, Coach, we appreciate it. Good luck Friday night. I hope y'all put it on Pennington.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And again, I always tell everybody that comes, I appreciate everything that you guys do. And, this is all about these kids, and you guys do a wonderful job of spotlighting them, and you're just making memories for them and experiences. And so we really appreciate that, and are really grateful for all that you guys do.
Well, thank you, Coach.
All right, yes.
Your story starts at Bevill State Community College. Whether you are just starting out or starting over, Bevill State has an opportunity that is right for you. With 5 locations serving 7 counties. You don't have to go far to start your own success story. Plus, with tuition lower than 4-year colleges, you won't need to spend more for a great education. Visit us online at bscc.edu to learn about your options for seamless academic transfer and high-demand career tech and health science offerings. Let us help you tell your story.
You're too wide. That would have been a wonderful play if you would have hit an A-gap right there. Run that again. Stay tighter, Devin. Y'all just kind of chill for a minute.
Down.
Chase his hip, do everything right.
Hey.
Stay right there. Come on, bub. Beat him up in there, bub. He cannot beat me, because when he pulls, see that gap open? I've got to beat him in there and keep him from running through that gap and tackling.
Whoa.
What would you say, whoa? What do you have to do that for? Why can't you just get up and play football? All right, here we go. Same thing, run it again. What you probably should have been saying was move his rear end so you can get through there. Keep running. Now cut up, good. Don't be up high like that, run through there low. Who's got him? No. No. You've got to tour anybody from head up to this gap, you got to get him. All right, here we go. I'm going to play quarterback one time. I'm going to act like. Call the cadence for me.
Ready. Set.
Run it again. That snap is high and to the right.
Set.
Oh, my bad, man. I thought I had pads on. I might have broke your microphone.
All right, we're back. James Phillips and Johnathan Bentley. Jonathan, you heard from Coach Hall there. He is excited about this week. He thinks his players have made that turn, and we hope they have for sure.
Yeah, they need to. Because, this is a senior-laden team.
It is a senior-laden team.
This is a year to do something.
Now, our player of the week this week was not a senior. We had a sophomore be player of the week, and it was Dora's quarterback, Garrett Hoagland. Tell us a little bit about him. You had a chance to go and talk to him.
Great kid, young kid. Like you said, we don't have many sophomores. It's been a while probably.
Right, that's going to be player of the week.
Yeah, exactly. He threw for over 300 yards last week, 3 touchdowns. Hopefully that's something they can – the good thing is they've kind of turned the corner from that first game,
right.
Cordova. And now they have a huge game this week. So, that was a good start. Maybe like a good going into that game, that's exactly what he needed.
Well, I think that Dora game this week against Aniana is going to rival this Oakman game against JB Pennington as to which one is the best game of the week.
Yeah, Aniana, I don't know if you've ever been there. It's a beautiful field. It's up on the hill.
Right.
It's mountainous out there.
Yeah.
It's right down the road pretty much. But
yeah. It's right down the road if you look on a map. But if you actually try to drive there, it takes a long time.
I think you have to go through Empire to get there.
Well, there's ways through Empire. You go through Coleman. There's all kind of ways to get there.
Yeah, I've been there once through Empire.
You can go through Birmingham and get there.
Yeah. So, they've won state before.
They have.
Aniana, and it's a tough place to go.
It's definitely a good program. Did Hoagland talk much about the Aniana game, or just talk about his game last week?
He did bring up the Aniana game and how big it was for him.
It's so important.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Let's hear what Hoagland had to say.
We're joined by our player of the week, Garrett Hoagland from Dora High School. Thank you for being here this week.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, let's go back to last week's game. 3 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Now you only been starting this year, right?
I started at the middle of the season last year. I started.
Would you say that was your best game last week?
Yes, sir. I would say that.
What was the What was the reason?
I gotta give the line, man. I mean, they just bought me all the time in the world, and I was just throwing it to my receivers, and receivers were making plays. And the line gave me all the time in the world to get rid of the football.
Yeah, those guys don't get the credit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who are some of those guys?
Mekhi Satterfield, Grady Goodwin, Zach Watson, Malik, Boone, Jaden at times when he would stay in, Jamarcus when he would block. They were great. They blocked a lot.
I think you had 2 to Davis, isn't that right?
I had 2 touchdown passes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So is he your top receiver? Who would you say is your go-to guy?
I don't know. They're all pretty athletic, but if I had to say my go-to one, would probably be Jaden, just because he's bigger and he has good hands. But I like all my receivers really the same.
And he also had a touchdown, didn't he, McDavid?
Yes, he did have a touchdown.
Okay, do you think this could springboard the season after that disappointing loss in the opener?
I do think so. Just keep, like big plays like we were having, if we keep having those, it would be really explosive to the year.
Was there a play that jumped out to you that was your best throw last week?
Not really. I mean, I liked all of them the same, really. I just like finding my open receivers. I don't really have a favorite one.
Were they all open?
Some of them, a lot of it was, but the receivers ran great routes and found the open spots, and that's where I threw it.
So you feel comfortable in your spot now? I mean, only a sophomore, but you've been starting for a year now. I mean, I guess for about a year now, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you see this? What do you think is the best part of this team right here, on the offensive side especially?
The best part of the team, I love how we bond. It's like a bond between all of us in the line. They do really great. Not so much the first game, but ever since then we got it all figured out, and it's fun back there now.
Probably helps to have a 1,000-yard running back there too, right?
Yes, great running back.
From that first game to now, what has changed that loss to Cordova?
I think our mindset going into it, not really thinking, oh, they're not good, or oh, they're good. We just have the same mindset going into all the games that they're going to be a team that's going to beat us if we don't play our best. So we just go into it like that.
So it could be a positive, that game. What's it going to take to beat Aniana this week?
Just have a great practice. We can't let any days off because they are a great football team. They're a smash mouth team. They're really physical. They're good. They have some good linebackers. Their defense is incredible. We just got to have the mindset going into it that we can beat them.
All right, well, appreciate it, Garrett, and thanks for joining us
Thank
this
you
week.
for having me.
All right.
All right, we're back. James Phillips and Johnathan Bentley. This is DME Prep Zone Game Time presented by Bevill State Community College. Johnathan, we had a chance to go this week and talk to a lot of the Oakman players. Spoke to 3 of the seniors. They were all down from last week, as we've talked about, but they all had a positive attitude, and every one of them talked about how they want to work hard and come back and bounce back this week.
I think that comes from the coach.
Right.
You know, Ryan Hall's a positive guy.
Right.
He has great perspective. That's what I like the most about him, I think. And so I'm sure he had those kids back focused within a day.
Right.
I bet Monday they were just ready to go.
Right. Well, and each of his players had a little different perspective on what went wrong, what went right, but they all had a positive attitude at the end of that loss and leading into this game of the week against JB Pennington.
After dropping the first game of the season to now 5th-ranked Class 5A Gordo, the Oakman Wildcats seem poised to cruise forward after defeating Curry and Holly Pond by a combined 111-18. But when Winfield came into H.D. Collins Field last week, the Wildcats were handed a seemingly devastating 54-14 loss.
We practiced good for them 2 weeks, but we let it go to our head last week, and last week our practice was terrible. And we got our brains beat out.
We fell apart. We just got to come together and just play the next game.
Senior defensive end Hunter Davis doesn't think the season will be defined by the loss to Winfield.
This season so far, it's been really good, but last week was a really big setback, but I feel like we can bounce back from that just as easy as we came up to it. It all starts in practice. We just got to practice hard. I know we can do it.
This week we kind of, basically we describe it as a new season. We're getting back to our roots and practicing harder this week for sure.
Linebacker J.Y. Henderson agrees with his teammates about the importance of practice headed into the game against J.B. Pennington.
We can do a lot better at practice, and I think we're going to be really solid if we can do great at practice.
The Oakman players understand the importance of Friday's game and the season-long implications that could come with it.
I think this game is really important to go into playoffs.
Honestly, I think it's for a home playoff game. So I feel like it's huge. I feel like we need this worse than anything.
Pennington's a really good football team, and last year it was Pennington and Winfield at the top. And so we beat this game. Who knows? Winfield could lose a game down the road, maybe 2 games, and we could potentially host a playoff game.
To come out on top Friday, Henderson says the way to get back on track is simple.
Come together as a team and play harder at practice and just go full speed.
PrepZone Gametime is presented by Bevill State Community College and Kilgore Green Funeral Home.
Hey guys, welcome back in. James Phillips, Johnathan Bentley, and we're joined by our special guest picker of the week, which is Cody Windham. And if you wonder why Cody's here, Cody is one of the wrestlers for New Era Wrestling, but he is a graduate of Oakman High School, which is our game of the week this week. So Cody, welcome in, even though me and you don't typically get along.
I mean,
we can be buddies today.
Well, I'm more keen because I like him better than you.
I understand.
We go back a long way.
We do.
Yeah.
About 17 years worth, and that's okay.
Well, we just said he interviewed you after a game one time.
He did, the Cordova game of 03.
We're both very young at that point.
We were.
You were pretty good back in the day?
What kind of question is that?
I mean, I haven't heard any stories about it. I don't think people...
I'm sure there's plenty of papers around here. You can read it.
Okay. I'll go look it up.
I mean, you're smart enough to read, right?
Sometimes.
Okay.
All right, let's go to DMEPrepZone.com, so we'll have our list of games. First game, Summerton Christian at Woodville. I'm just going to go ahead and make my pick. Summerton Christian wins. Okay.
What's that? Summerton Christian.
It's at Summerton Christian.
It doesn't matter, yeah. Summerton Christian. Other teams at 0-4.
Yeah, Summerton Christian.
So
I can agree with that.
All in on that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, how about, this is going to be one I think could go either way. Meek at Hubbardsville. Meek's so improved, and Hubbardsville's still a decent team. What do y'all think about that one?
I'm going to tell you, and you'll understand this. I'm going to pick Hubbardsville because my senior year, our offensive coordinator is now the principal at Hubbardsville, Coach Donovan.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
So I'm going to take Hub.
Okay, you got to take them then.
I was taking Hub as well.
Okay.
It's hard to win there, you know?
Yeah.
It is.
I'm taking Hub too, but I almost circled Meek.
Yeah, it should be close.
You said you circled Meek and then scratched it out, didn't you?
That's 2 games I changed. Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, how about, this one I think is going to be ugly. Pickens County at Lynn. Can we just say Pickens County?
Pickens County.
Okay, we're all going Pickens County. All right, now here's one I think will be very good. Dora at Aniana. Man, I circled Dora. And you know I'm a graduate. I scratched it out and I put Aniana. I think Aniana's going to win. Dora's got to win one to prove to me they can win a big game.
That's what I said. And I noticed your wife, another Dora graduate, picked Dora.
Yeah, she did pick Dora.
I think she might be the only one. I mean, it's just you got to win a game like that. You know, just win one.
I'm going to go with Dora.
Oh, wow.
Well,
you know somebody
I
works
do.
there
My
too?
cousin is he works with the offense and head baseball coach, another Oakman grad, Jay Trotter.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's coach at Dora, so I'll go with Dora.
You basically just are going to pick for family.
Mommy might as well.
You know. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Trotter was another great Oakman player.
He was. It runs in the family.
It does? It runs in the family?
It does.
Well, okay, we'll see. Usually you're not that much of a person who just sticks with people, though. You like to turn on people a lot of times.
I mean, I do, but I do what I got to do to win.
Okay. You do have a gold around your waist. So. All right, Alexandria at corner. I'm going Alexandria all the way on this one.
Yeah, Alexandria should win that game.
I'll take Alexandria.
All right. Here's another one that should be close, one of our local teams. Carbon Hill at Holly Pond. Holly Pond's beat a bunch of, basically nobodies. Carbon Hill has basically beaten nobody.
Curry.
But Curry.
Curry.
So I went out on a limb. I went with Carbon Hill in this one. I think they'll pick up a win.
I just can't pick Carbon Hill on the road. Win a game. It's kind of like Dora. Just win a game like this.
Yeah.
And then, but they haven't yet. So
I'm going with Holly Pond.
What's your reasoning for Holly Pond?
Because your whinebag buddy Dawson Kimbrell graduated from Carbon Hill.
Oh, yeah. He was in here picking.
He was.
Imagine
that.
I'm hoping you do a better job than he did because he kind of let me down that week.
Well, he's not that smart.
Oh, man. We should have invited him back today, too.
Yeah, we could have.
Winston County at Addison. This one might be a little closer than we originally thought because Addison's had some injuries and stuff, but I think you still got to go Addison all the way.
Yeah, they get up for these games,
I'll take
It seems like they always have a guy to step up when somebody gets injured too.
Right. Yeah. We got one that already has a victor. Gardendale has defeated Jasper 1-0 because of a forfeit because Jasper's dealing with COVID issues. So y'all picking Gardendale?
Gardendale works for me.
You sure you're going to pick?
No, I think I'll go with Jasper.
The other way.
I might.
All right, then we got tonight's game, Ramsey at Cordova. Jonathan, who you got in that one?
Ramsey.
I'm going Ramsey too.
Yeah.
And then, game of the week, JB Pennington. Does anybody know what JB stands for?
We have a guy that works here, went to JB Pennington, has no idea.
He doesn't even know.
No.
I'm going to call it Johnathan Bentley.
BJ Pennington. Oh, JB Pennington.
JB Pennington.
JB Pennington.
Let's keep it clean there, Cody.
Oh, yeah, JB Pennington.
They are at Oakman. You know a little bit about Oakman, right?
Winners.
That's
where I come from.
Not last week, my friend.
Talk about last week.
Okay, look. Sometimes, and it happens, I've been there, you get out coached. It happens.
Right.
It happens. So, and Winfield, look, you can't take nothing away from Winfield. Winfield's a good team. They're always good. So
they are. And
it happens.
And just in talking to Coach Hall, and he mentioned it on the show, they were really good.
They were. And I talked to him yesterday, too. So, I mean, it's one of them things where sometimes you're going to get out coached.
Right.
I mean, that I've been through it. I know.
And they had a few more horses, it seems, too.
They did. They did. And I'll give him credit. That running back they had, he was a hoss.
Right.
I
now, you sit in the press box most of the time. Do you keep the clock, don't you?
Yeah, run scoreboard. I'll put the score up there.
You ever mess up any?
No. Why would you even ask that?
I'm trying to find something wrong with you.
You're not going to.
I would like for you to admit you're not perfect at some point.
Okay, that'll never happen.
That's what
and you should know that by now.
I know.
In
exactly.
3 years, you should know that.
I know exactly that's not going to happen. So, all right, Jonathan, you go first, then I'll go, then we'll let our special guest.
I think I know where he's going.
But
it was awful last week. It was awful. I mean, they were bombing on them. They were just everything went right and everything went wrong for Oakman. I mean, but I'm thinking they're going to bounce back. I really do.
Oh yeah.
I think they're just probably fed up with last week, having to watch this and hear about this.
Right.
Just ready to. They really need this win too.
Right.
So I'm with Oakman.
Well, that's how I feel too. I think Oakman will win it. I went out to practice. Not only Coach Hall, but also the players seem like they are just, ready to bounce back. That's what each one of them said, is that we've had to work harder. We've worked harder at practice. We're ready for this game. We're going to bounce back. They know there's playoff implications with it. If they win this one, they're in the driver's seat to have a number 2 seed, host a playoff game. So it's an important game. All right, Cody, what do you think?
Well, like I said, I've been there. So either way, I got to go with Oakman, but I've been there where you've had them weeks like this past week, and practice the next week is not fun.
Right.
So you don't want to go through it again. So I got to go with my boys from Oakman.
There you go. Went with the Wildcats. Well, Cody, tell everybody we've got a card coming up for New Era Wrestling on September the 25th. You're one of our standout performers, I would say. I will even admit that. And you're one of the members of the Modern Day Kings. Y'all have all the gold.
We got all the gold.
So you've got the open title and the tag team title.
And you're literally going to sit here and say you're trying to find a reason that I'm not perfect. Me and my whole crew's got all the gold. What else do you expect?
I know. Well, what can people expect on September the 25th?
I mean, you can expect to see me.
Right.
Which is about the only reason you need to come. But if you need more, you might even get to see us beat him up.
Ooh.
Which is always fun.
Yeah. I tend to get beat up sometimes. I'm going to have to enlist some help. Now, I do have some guys coming in. I got legendary Larry D going to be there. I don't think you want to tangle with him. You already have, right?
I did, and he felt the wrath.
Yeah.
Now, granted, again, it didn't work out in my favor, but I still got the gold.
Right, that's true. And we've got Jake Chris, that was X Division champion, coming in too.
Yeah, and we've seen what happened last time.
That's true. But both guys, outstanding. Then we got some new talent coming in, got a new tag team coming in, got several people. I think it's going to be an awesome show.
But again, nobody cares about that because I'm on the show. My esteemed colleagues, Ace Haven, Bubba Cagle, Modern Day Kings, we're on the show. So what does it matter?
Don't forget Amy Haven, too.
Amy.
She's your modern day queen.
She is.
So I think
that's the only reason to come.
Come and see these guys and see what I have in store for them to make sure that they're not perfect anymore, because that's what the plan is going
And see
forward.
how we deal his life misery on a monthly basis.
It does happen sometimes. All right. Well, Jonathan, you got anything else to say?
No, we're good.
You want to come and be my tag team partner?
I was thinking about it, you know.
Or would you rather hang out with us?
I want to be part of the modern day King.
Exactly.
I knew that.
The King is in the title.
See, you've turned on me now. You're just like this guy.
Well, I mean, it
All
works.
you do is turn on me. All right. Well, for Johnathan Bentley, Cody Windham, I'm James Phillips. We'll see you at the football fields on Thursday and Friday night.